All right, everyone, welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf. This is the 2023 Discmania Open here in PEI, Canada. I'm your host, Nate Perkins, here with Connor O'Reilly. Connor, we really are on the edge of the North American continent, are we?
Yeah, we are out here. First ever Disc Golf Pro Tour event in Canada, I believe. So super cool to be a part of this. We are thrilled to be back on the mic, and don't forget to check out the 7-day free trial for the Disc Golf Network. Scan the code or hit the link in the description to sign up for that. Nate, walk us through hole one here.
Getting right into it, Rose Valley. It's a fresh track. It is a daunting course, very difficult. There's a healthy mix of open holes in these kind of rolling pastures here, and then we go deep into the woods. Hole one is a bomber par 4 to start. It's 30 feet descending from tee to the fairway here, so you can bite off a ton of distance off the tee, and then you're left with a demanding uphill shot as you approach. But to set the stage, guys, I mean, the World Championships just ended 5 days ago in Vermont. It's a 12-hour drive to Prince Edward Island, Canada. And that's exactly why we have a reduced field this week.
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of the Canadian fans are bummed to not see all the names they're expecting, but, you know, it's a long season, and I think a lot of players have the right to take off whenever they want. And Eagle puts it out well up the fairway. There's kind of a flat shelf that he got well past.
Mr. Isaac Robson.
Isaac Robinson, your current world champion. Massive congratulations to him. Just a budding superstar, backhand phenom.
Yeah, what a performance from Isaac. And that final round performance, I mean, I'm still getting chills thinking about it. It just didn't seem human. It just didn't seem like there were nerves involved in the play at all. And how special it is. How special it is that Isaac decided to make the trip up here for the Silver Series.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of part of Isaac's MO. He is a disc golfer, and it's what he's done his whole life, is what he does, and he more than anybody has the right to take it off this week, but he's up here having some fun playing disc golf. Gavin's really been having a strong second half of the season. He played well at the World Championships. Kind of a bummer fall down the leaderboard the final couple holes of the final round, but he really was up there in the mix throughout the tournament.
I believe at one point he might have been on the chase card or possibly the third. He ended up finishing in 29th place.
Here we have Canada's own Thomas Gilbert, well known for his long distance and very smooth and efficient putting stroke. It is important to note that throughout the week of practice, the kind of prevailing wind on this island from the north was there, so this wind that the players are seeing from the south today is going to be the first time pretty much anyone has practiced in it, unless you just happen to get whatever pocket of the day that had some different winds throughout the week. So some kind of game time disc changes you'll have to make on these open holes especially, and just Gavin putting it close, showing you guys how to throw with uphill stance.
Nice shot there from Isaac.
Yeah, I feel like after playing D-Glow, most of these players should be pretty well versed with these uphill run-ups. At least have gotten some practice on that recently. Whoa. It is important to note that this hole is surrounded by a hazard, so Thomas will play from where his disc lies with a stroke penalty there.
And is Eagle just going tactic into this green?
just soft as it gets. Has to do his best to take some pace off it because, Eagle McMahon problems. And he's one of the players with the distance to break a few holes on this course. I'm excited to see how he game planned.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him going over the top on a few holes that other people are just not even taking a peek at. Fresh Rainmaker stab right there.
Yeah, we are putting into the Discmania targets this weekend. I think it's the only target we've seen all year with just a singular ring holding all the chains together. So, see how these players fare, how they like them. I know Gavin Babcock's told me it's his favorite basket on the market. He likes the sound of it, he told me.
It kind of had a dead pop to it. It's kind of almost like just muffled.
Yeah, I guess it has just enough of that metallic ring that Gav likes it. Making sure to go through his routine. And yeah, just showing a little bit of nerves maybe there on the first. It was very warm and a pretty sweaty day, so maybe having some grip issues. He was using quite a bit of chalk there.
Yeah, a lot of the locals saying it is not normal for it to be this hot in September.
Hole 2, definitely one of those signature holes, one of the ones that a lot of players are taking that Instagram story on with the nice picturesque little miniature lighthouse and the crab traps in the back. This one plays as just a traditional island hole. This one will be out of bounds with a drop zone. Kind of a oblong shaped egg here for the green with the basket tucked towards the back edge, maybe about 17 to 20 feet to the back out of bounds there. So once you're going to be seeing a wind you haven't seen, you got to make a good disc selection and really hit the range on this one.
A little bit of tailwind left to right today. And look at that. That does just not have a lot of glide on it.
Yeah, they look like that splice out of McMahon there. Says 347. I believe this one's around 380 feet, so a little bit longer. I want to say that's the archive for Isaac, his new mid-range disc in his personal lineup, and maybe kind of forcing the issue there with the disc choice. Worried about flipping the edge, so maybe gave it extra height and kind of faded it out because of that.
I think stabled up quick on him.
I think with this wind, you can go mid-range. You can throw a lot of discs in your bag, but I feel like it's a little easier to play something stable and just know that it's going to fade and then just kind of play your height out to the right.
I think Gavin actually went PD2 there.
Gavin playing lawn darts, as he likes to call it, when he's throwing a high checking hyzer shot. Thomas comes in quite a bit of pace, but
Is that OB right there, Connor?
looks
The
like he
little line?
checks up. The line definitely pushes right into the edge of that grass, so
Okay.
I think he's going to be safe there.
Okay, so straight to a drop zone if you... Oh, what?
Long drop zone.
That's it? Was that 90 feet? He just does
Strong
no
drop from the
jump.
wind, and he almost gauges it properly. Eagle, a little bit short on that drive, but able to keep the putter going.
And how about Eagles' run during that final round at the title?
Yeah, he really lit it up at Fox Run Meadows and put on a show for the fans those final 2 rounds.
What, he went 27 under in 2 rounds? Whew.
Yeah, he was scorching it, and without some late troubles, he definitely would have given Isaac a little bit more of a run.
All right, hole 3. We're headed down to the wood line where we won't come out of until midway in the back 9. This one's 440 feet. FPO pin is right there on the right at the 380 foot mark. MPO though, past this wall of trees, down the hill across the road, really difficult pin to access. It's tough to really say what the ideal line is on this one. I saw some people just trying to roll it through that wall of trees. Saw some people just, throwing high and hoping to crash. Eagle is going roller here.
Yeah, I haven't seen or really thought about that roller play, but I do like what players are thinking with that, and I think it just goes to show it's one of those holes that as long as you're doing something, getting forward through that tree line, it's hard to really repeat what's going to happen after that, and I think players are kind of trying to get creative, trying to figure this one out. Babcock gets down to the road there, skips well left, long circle 2 bid. This is just kind of a super bonus birdie. If you take a 3 here, you kind of did your job and you're not going to be too upset.
It's a good layup spot.
Isaac looks to be mid-range here again. I do think ideally if you can hit the mid-range perfect and really just fight off that late fade and get it to drop like a brick down that hill, I think that could be kind of the pure line in this tailwind.
Just not getting that mid to flip up as much as he needed.
Yeah, once again a little high out of the hand for Robinson.
Well, kind of a tricky spot right here. Going jump putt, and that just didn't have the height.
Wow.
Circle 2. Like,
I
this
thought,
kind of
yeah.
rode on its back down across that road.
I thought it was going to be quite a bit shorter, but he does give himself an opportunity, though I'm sure he would have liked something a little less stressful from that short.
Ooh, a rare forehand right there from Isaac. I'd love to get a forehand count on his world title. Just total forehand count, Connor.
I can just see, he probably threw 0. I could see it. I mean, I bet we won't see him throw another one on this course, and this course is about as kind of raw and fresh as we've seen. So if any course can force you into forehand, it's this one.
Oh.
I think this property here, though, does have a lot of potential to be a great track. A couple small tweaks here and there, and it's going to be something good for a long time to come. Thomas able to make a long one there to save par.
And pars around for this featured card.
Yeah, it was a hole that only gave up 4 birdies on the day. Definitely a tough get, and here's a look at our leaderboard after 3 holes. Aiden Scott, only player 3 through 3.
One of my favorite memories growing up was a trip I took with my dad to Hawaii. We just got done with a round of disc golf and decided to listen to the Grateful Dead. Without saying anything, we both knew we needed to dance, and that's exactly what we did. Sometimes you just need to stop and enjoy the music.
We're here on the tee of hole 4. It's a par 4 at 710 feet, playing out of a relatively small gap and then into the wide open meadow. There's a couple different ways to play this one. Some players might kind of play it short around here, trying to give themselves a big over the top hyzer on the second. A lot of players though are looking to kind of nestle right around here, short of this gap, play something up here into the woods. Pretty skinny coming into the green here, but definitely a line that is clean and a very rewarding birdie if you're able to throw 2 impressive shots.
Yeah, this staggered gap is a little awkward off the tee. And Eagle is actually intentionally throwing that short to then try and bomb one over the top.
Yep. And when I first kind of heard about that play and saw it, I was like, man, I almost wish the course would force you away from it. That feels too easy. I like the character of this hole, but after trying it in practice, it definitely takes pretty massive power. And I think, if you got the power to throw the shots required for that play, then I think you should be rewarded. I think Thomas is a player who kind of opened some people's eyes up to this way to play the hole in years past at this course.
That's okay. That's still good.
Is that hazard right there in the long grass, or?
This one actually has no hazard,
Okay.
no out of bounds. It's one of the few open holes where the long grass isn't penalizing.
And Isaac opting to send this one down and try and play the low line. Should be a good spot there.
I feel like Isaac's kind of like a course director or course designer's dream. He's always kind of just playing the fairway how you intend and shaping the line beautifully. Gavin,
What a flip up there with that forehand. Well over 400 feet in the air.
that is so impressive from the standstill. Gavin is a strong human being, y'all. And his forehand's really starting to become quite an advanced tool for him. Eagle, arguably the best player on the planet with towering shots. Makes a lot of progress. Still going to have something tricky, but he's less than 100 feet to the green. Easy par for him.
Higher.
Oh, it's not high enough.
Yeah, you can see Thomas kind of instantly looked down, whether it was the tough footing that gave him trouble or whatever it was. He knew the shot wasn't quite what he needed.
So from Isaac's position, how far of a shot do you think he needs to find the circle?
He's likely looking at somewhere in the 360 to 75 foot range from there on just a pretty laser line.
Oh, this is a demanding hole.
These are the dumbest mistakes you can be making right now. Oh my gosh, you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, that second shot, if you're not in the perfect position, it is very skinny and definitely a hole that nearly requires perfection to get the birdie if you're trying to play it up the gut.
Dense woods over there where Thomas finds himself. Oh, what an out.
This course definitely will test the creativity of all these players throughout. I mean, we're only 4 holes in. We've already seen an array of shots we typically don't see out of these players. And Eagle trying to give that one a birdie bid.
He was our last hope. And with that, we've got to give a shout out to the one man who carded a birdie 3, Chandler Fry.
Oh, big one.
Gavin cleans up after that mistake.
What a crazy par. Gavin threw pretty awful tee shot. Kind of mind-blowing forehand. Yeah, just a little, not a great chip up, and then just bangs a 120-footer. That's what you call having heart. He never gave up. Isaac, quick as he is, almost beats the camera for that tap in. Yeah, one birdie on the day here. I think we'll probably see maybe a couple more in day 2, but it's a difficult hole. And speaking of difficult,
Yeah, we're straight into another really difficult hole. This placement of his tee pad here really doesn't give you the space that you need to generate the power. It's 419 feet, but it's significantly uphill and it finishes off to the right. So for the right-hand backhand, you need something that is hyzer out of the gap and then flipping up late in the flight and riding back and trying to get lucky through these late trees. This is a really demanding hole, and I imagine it had less than 5 birdies on the day as well.
yeah, this is one of those that you park this one, you're making a post about it, you're writing home to your grandkids. This one is a demanding shot shape. And Eagle just playing to blast a backhand somewhere up there long. I think it's a good strategy just to play something long and straight. If you're pin high or deeper, the wall of trees leading up to the basket gets a lot thinner.
And Gavin just going to hammer that DD3.
Oh my gosh.
The man is ripping forehands right now.
One finger forehand.
He's got one finger,
into the
right?
Circle.
I was just about to ask.
One finger forehand into the circle, Gavin.
That's 450 feet of power at least to get where he just landed.
Built different.
The Iowa corn-fed wrestler.
That one finger will wrestle most of you guys watching this alone. Me too. I'll throw myself in there. Thomas, ooh, just barely inside and high on that one. But even then, it wasn't going to quite have that pace that we saw out of Babcock's. Likely would have been circle 2 best. Isaac just throwing the straight shot, proving that it is always a threat regardless of the way you design whatever hole. Gives himself a makeable putt. Still going to be quite a highlight though.
Tricky spot right here. Thomas gets fancy with that little toss.
There's a couple little gaps as you come into this green, and they definitely can be punishing a lot of trees right there around the circle's edge to where if you knock down, you still have a lengthy putt to make. But Eagle, as you see, pushed it deep of the baskets, coming back at the fattest gaps that you have available on the green. Big brain strategy there. And what an arm to get well up the hill like that.
Huge
Max.
birdie. How many do we have on the day, Connor?
Gavin capitalizes on his incredible
That's
throw.
got to be just
And
maybe
is
the only one.
one of only 2 players to get this birdie on the day. Ty Love, who likely threw some version of straight backhand and made a long putt, also got that birdie. Ty's got a serviceable forehand, but he really leans backhand and has a ton of speed on his shot, so I can see him shaping this one nicely. Here we are on hole 6. This one's going to be a par 4 that starts up high on the hill, playing well down. This first shot's likely at least 40, 50 feet down the hill where you ideally want to land. These 2 tall birches are a good aim point. If you can fly just left of those, moving your disc sharply to the right for the last part of the flight, a big forehand or a steeply turning backhand that's fighting to flat will play here. And if you can find yourself somewhere on that service road with a straight gap approach into this relatively open green, you're going to be happy to card a birdie. Gavin going outside with his big power forehand, not having to choose the right side flex. And he just plays that one to perfection, really.
Ideal positioning. Oh, Eagle gonna flip this one up high.
And this is one of those first
What?
moments where we're going to see Eagle McMahon do things that other players just aren't going to have the confidence or the creativity or arm speed to do. And
Too much turn?
yeah, he flips it over a little too much. That was,
I mean, he's trying to go to the green, right?
I think, yeah, if he can clear those 2 birches and have the right flight, with that speed he just had, he could have got to circle 2's edge or something like that. And he's just definitely taking a big risk when he's throwing a line like that. But I think for him, he knows as long as he beats that initial corner, he'll probably be able to scramble for par. And if he does hit it perfect, he's going to blow the minds of his competitors and possibly card an easy birdie. Isaac just dragging masterfully on this mid-range. Looks like it was inside of that tree line and on the road, but hard to tell from that camera angle.
Wow, that was a fun shot to watch right there. Are you kidding? Patent pending putter roller.
Eagle McMahon is going to show us a lot of shots this weekend, and I'm really excited to watch quite a few of them. This is not the most roller-friendly course currently. A lot of large pieces of mulch on the ground from some of the recent course work and the hurricane damage from last year.
And that shot from Isaac is one that really helped him out there at Brewster. Just that kind of flat putter shot that's drifting to the right the whole time, but not really banking.
Yeah, I feel like he almost uses that turn to get to the ground as his kind of distance control for that shot versus trying to land it flat. Backyard putt for Gilbert.
Oh, dang.
Just off the cage. He's usually pretty deadly in some of those awkward situations with the way his stroke is very kind of wrist and elbow oriented.
Wow, what an up and down.
Eagle goes for the crazy aggressive line, plays patent pending mid-range roller or putter roller, sorry. And gets up and down. That's just finding a way.
That one right side and just kind of slides out on him. I'm with you, Gavin. That looked like it could have stuck.
Yeah, pretty 50-50, flat right. Just not able to get the drop. Always a frustrating one when it feels good out of the hand like that.
All right, after 6 holes, looked like Aiden Scott slowed down just a bit. Eagle McMahon 3 under as well. But score's not looking too hot. Rose Valley proving to be difficult.
It's got some thorns.
It certainly does. And we're headed into another pretty difficult hole here. Number 7. You're headed back up this hill, and this landing zone is just so tight right here. And even if you are in the premier landing zone, the way that the rough is situated, you kind of have to get your next shot really nose up, and it can make it difficult to, access this green. If you find yourself deep or to the right of this, you basically have no putt.
Yeah,
and what do you think about this high route, Connor?
I haven't seen anyone try it. I thought about maybe trying it myself, but it didn't feel like it was kind of worth the time to me. So Eagle, though, even though he sawed that one off, got through to the open. It's a very long way, uphill run uphill the entire way on the throw. But if anyone has the firepower to get clear that next kind of bunker of bushes, then it's Eagle McMahon. Isaac playing the traditional flat shot, gets the fade a little lower than he'd like, I'm sure. But yeah, we'll see how aggressive he gets. This second shot, y'all, if you don't really get it big off this tee, it's so long, it's really demanding.
Yeah, it's so uphill, and the rough just forces you to throw high.
Thomas also playing wide. Looks like he got some good carry off of that one.
I feel like Eagle almost intentionally played back here so that he could throw this over the top shot.
Ooh.
Right? He just didn't bite a lot off the tee.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty soft shot for him regardless if he hit the timing right, and I think with it being soft, he kind of just came out early out of the hand.
Turn, please.
It's such a short shot on the first one here that I think it just maybe kind of threw his timing
And that's
McMahon and Babcock both.
yeah.
Trouble.
I feel like that's kind of a common miss here is you're trying to throw uphill and high and get it to turn.
And that shows you, even when you're in the fairway on this course, it's still, like we said, relatively fresh, and there's some spots where you have to elect for a standstill, as Isaac did, just because the footing can be pretty treacherous, even in some of the premier landing zones. Oh, Thomas narrowly avoids disaster. Also gets that nose up and fading, but he finds a pretty open spot. Not going to have too much stuff to deal with.
Isaac forced to just pitch out of there.
Gavin having to bust out the overhand pan shot and kind of rough ground play. He's going to have a testy putt just outside the circle.
Oh.
Eagle trying to give that one a cheeky bid, but
Thomas, our last
medal.
hope for birdie here.
a little undercommitted there for Thomas, but it's a very long bid, so. Isaac strong out of the hand there.
Gavin to save par.
I don't know how to putt.
Seems to be having some trouble with his grip. We would only see 3 birdies all day here on hole 7. Raven Newsom, AJ Carey, and Callan Schacht, I believe a Canadian player.
It's just really that kind of course, huh?
Yeah, this one's tough. I think even if you throw a pristine drive, you're left with like a 400-foot power forehand over the stuff, or like a turning fairway driver. Here we are on 8. Shorter hole, par 3 at 315 feet. The key here is to beat that kind of straggly, skinny little tree off the tee. Really, though, if you have your timing right, you shouldn't really have to worry about that one. You got to come in kind of steeply on hyzer, as the way this last gap shapes up. It really is kind of like a coin slot. You got to come in nice on some angle, likely get a little bit of ground play to put this one close, but I think a circle's edge putt is just fine here. Or eagle, just blast it over the top and take your odds coming over the trees.
That is so
Goodness.
steep. That tree is 60 feet high and just 100 feet off the pad, and he's crashing down into what looks to be circle 2.
Yeah, it looks close to circle's edge, and honestly, that's about as good as you can hope throwing up the gut. And for him, he has no worries of hitting any tree early, so I love the line. Thomas with the big skip.
Just needed that flat skip.
The key here, I think, is just hitting the speed right to where you can fade in front of that back wall. And whether or not you get good ground play is kind of out of your hands. Isaacs looks pretty cured up there, and gentle curl in front of that tree.
Gavin pure through the gap. Gets the last guardian there, kicks him into a circle's edge look up the hill.
Eagle first to putt. Has to go over a limb and drops it into the
That
right
is so
side.
clean.
What an impressive putt there for Eagle. Has to come over the limb and then drop the putt down the hill. Come in with kind of low speed because there's rollaway potential. That was so well done.
Oh, back-to-back beauties right there. Man, that eagle putt was really, you said it before, a backyard putt. That was really like playing a game of horse with your buddy or something. Over the tree,
Absolutely.
under the next branch.
Gavin's just a traditional fire at home from circle 2. Thomas strong into the basket there for birdie.
And we got a chance for our first star frame.
Isaac lines up his powder blues and
Oh, yeah.
matches the basket. Boom.
And we are in. All 4 for birdie, and we've got to give a shout out to Isabel Bjork in the FPO field for getting her first ace ever, and it happened to be live on the Disc Golf Network, guys.
That is incredible. Dreams. That's my dream. I still don't have my first ace, so I keep saying I want it to be that. So we'll get on you, Isabel. And here we are, hole 9. It's a demanding one, Nate.
It really is. We might even see some players go over the top here. I mean, Connor says, my mind would be blown if that was the case, but I think we might here. You can just see just how many trees there are in between you and the basket. It's 460. It's slightly downhill. It's really like a flip-up shot. And here we go, Connor. Get your popcorn ready. We've got an Eagle McMahon
The way this
hyzer.
guy sees the courses and the fact that he can throw some of these lines are it's just disgusting. Just smooth spike hyzer for McMahon. Watch out, cameraman. And watch out, basket. Oh my goodness.
Are you kidding?
He literally spiked
Inches
it at the
from
base.
This is... You can't make that up. The Discmania ad.
The power to play that line and to put it that, like, I think if people are playing that line, they're probably happy with a 60-footer. And Eagle just almost blew up the basket. The line Thomas took, dragging it over the left side, definitely has a wider fairway. It kind of narrows down halfway down the flight, but it definitely is the more generous of the two sides.
Oh, that was it, too. That was a flippy mid from Isaac.
Gavin looks to be lining up the more kind of traditional flat shot down the right, looking really just to hold off the fade the whole way. Maybe get a little bit late. But this is fading early. And he catches the root ball, that down tree there.
Man, that was an all-time shot from McMahon.
That is, yeah.
We've seen some special stuff from him, but to spike it in, I mean, it's nearly under the cage.
I try to tell people, like, Anthony Barella will blow your mind. You watch him, you're like, man, he's different than the rest of the guys. And then Eagle is just, he's an alien. He's not a human being. I'm not convinced.
Is there fast twitch muscles? Is it like his flexibility, his elasticity, or is it
It's all
really
that
just
plus
the
that
timing?
elite timing and extension that he gets. I've watched him throw hyzer flips on hole 7 Fox's Bend in practice. And he made the distance driver just fly like a fairway driver. And it's like the speed he gets is just so good. And his ability to get the nose just driven neutral or flat or down is like second to none. Large guy, small lie. Let's see how Babcock handles it. Yeah, it's impossible to play through this course right now without being uncomfortable in some spot. You can see the wind gusting for Gilbert. Showing from the tail and drops his disc. Strong on the pull for bogey. Eagle still waiting to tap in his park job. That is just filthy.
It's what the people came to see.
Absolutely. You better drove 10 hours to watch that guy do that. Being so happy to do it.
And he's leading the field. 5 under on the front 9 is the hottest of this featured card. He's got Gavin by 3, Robinson by 4. He's got Aiden Scott and Jake Wolf by 2. This is the Discmania Open. It is the last Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event of the season. We've just got Maple Hill left, I believe, and that is going to decide who makes it into the Tour Championship this year.
What a ride.
Thanks for joining us here on Central Coast Disc Golf. From Connor O'Reilly and Nate Perkins, we will see you soon for the back nine.